Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to get into the real art of persuasion. We'll be breaking down the timeless wisdom of the one and only Jim Rohn and looking at his method for becoming a communicator who really truly influences people. You know that feeling, right? We have all been there. You have a fantastic idea, or maybe a really critical piece of information, but it just doesn't land. Your message kind of gets lost in translation, and you're just left wondering, why couldn't I connect? It's such a frustrating and super common problem.
So what is going wrong? Well, a lot of the time we tend to lean way too hard in one of two directions. We either completely drown our audience in data, just facts and figures, which pretty much always leads to boredom and confusion. Or we go the other way and rely only on passion and stories, which can feel a little empty, and that leads to skepticism. According to Jim Rohn, both of these approaches are flawed. There is a much, much more powerful way.
In this explainer, we're going to walk you through that exact formula. We'll kick things off by identifying the two main pillars of influence. Then we'll get into mastering both your story and your numbers. And finally, we'll combine it all into a simple, powerful persuasion formula you can start using, today.
Okay, so right at the heart of Jim Rohn's philosophy are what he calls the two pillars of influence. He taught that true, lasting persuasion isn't about choosing one style or the other. Nope. It's about mastering the blend of logic and emotion. You've got to speak to both the head and the heart at the same time.
And that's really the big idea right there. The most influential speakers, the best leaders, the most effective communicators, they all understand this balance almost instinctively. They don't see stories and numbers as separate things. They see them as two sides of the very same, very powerful coin.
Let's start with that first pillar, stories. Stories are the engine of connection. They're what build that emotional bridge between you and your audience, and they make your message feel relatable, human, and something they'll actually remember.
But a connection isn't always enough to get people to act. And that's where the second pillar comes in. Numbers convince. They provide the logical proof, the hard evidence, and the credibility your message absolutely needs to be taken seriously.
So how do we get good at telling our story? Now, this isn't about becoming some kind of professional writer. It's really just about learning to tap into the powerful narratives that are literally all around us all the time. According to Rohn, these powerful stories are absolutely everywhere. You can find them in your own successes and, just as importantly, in your failures. They're in the experiences of the people you know. They can even be simple parables that illustrate a key point. The real key is to start collecting them, to start seeing your own life as a source of valuable lessons. I love how Rohn frames this. He calls the story the fact that is interesting, and that is so crucial. A story isn't just fluff you add on top. It's the vehicle that takes a dry, boring fact and makes it engaging and completely unforgettable.
All right, now for that second pillar. How do we take cold, hard data and actually make it resonate with people? The secret is to stop thinking of numbers as just, numbers, and start thinking of them as characters in a bigger story. Take a look at this. The number 7. What does it even mean? On its own, absolutely nothing, right? It's totally abstract, easily forgettable, and it has zero impact. It's just data.
But watch what happens when we just add a few words. For 7 years, our factory. All of a sudden, your mind starts filling in the blanks. A story is starting to form. 7 isn't just a number anymore. Now it's a duration, a struggle, maybe a journey. It has a soul. Here's the difference in action. If you just say 75% of projects fail, that's nothing more than a statistic. It might be true, but it's really easy for people to just shrug it off. But when you say, let me tell you about one of them, you've just given them an invitation. You've made that number personal and turned a dry statistic into a powerful lesson.
So now we've got the two pillars, emotional stories and logical numbers. Let's put them together into a really practical formula you can use in your next presentation or your next team meeting or even just in an important conversation. And like Rohn himself said, learning this is a true investment in yourself. It's not just some communication trick. It's a fundamental personal skill that's going to pay off in pretty much every area of your life.
So it all boils down to this really simple 3-step process. First, find your number, that undeniable fact that gives your argument some serious weight. Second, wrap that number in a relatable story that really brings it to life. And third, and this is key, deliver it all with genuine personal conviction. Your belief in what you're saying, that's what seals the deal.
And really, that's what it's all about. The formula is simple, but its power is just immense. The only thing left to do is to actually apply it. So, Think about the next message you need to deliver, that next idea you need to share. You've got the formula now, so what story are you going to tell first?